So I'm going to set you up for something here. We're working on a 1990 Cadillac Brougham TBI. I don't have a nose here. TBI. Throttle body injected 5.7 liter. Also same for a 305. What I did was I diagnosed it as a bad fuel pump, but I'm going to put a sending unit in this thing too. It's cheap enough. The fuel pump I got is a Delphi. It's FE 0115. Or if this other number means anything to you, CFE 0115. It comes with connectors and clamps and everything else and splicing connectors, but the sending unit I got actually comes with everything else, so you don't have to splice anything. You get all new everything. The sending unit is from a company called True Grade. I got it from AutoZone. The part number is FG10J. I was able to take the sending unit body and the parts that came with it and the fuel pump and put together an entire new assembly for like 175 bucks. Now, let's go out here to the car, and I'm going to teach you how I diagnosed this as a fuel pump issue with this throttle body injection. So this Cadillac came from 3 different mechanics. You don't have to be on it. You can go this way or that way, whatever. This Cadillac came from 3 different mechanics, and they couldn't figure out what was wrong with it. They were doing ignition stuff. They were doing throttle body stuff. They were doing all kinds of stuff. And at the same time, I'm not going to lie to you, this could easily take you the wrong way. What I did was, I told my guy, go out there and pull a fuel pump on the fuel rail. Here's my theory. The throttle body injectors are just dumping fuel. They don't have enough pressure behind them to help atomize the fuel, so it's just dumping it. So it starts, dies, starts, dies, starts, dies. And then you can throttle the gas, and you can get it to run, but it's really not running that good, and then it just dies out again. So he pulled the fuel filter, which is right here on the fuel rail. Now there's surface rust all over this car, but this car only has 60,000 miles on it, so nothing's rusted through. It's got brand new fuel lines and everything. These guys literally started doing everything to this vehicle and could not troubleshoot what was wrong with it. When you pull the fuel filter off and put an inline fuel pressure tester in it, you get less than 1 psi of fuel. You get some volume, but no real fuel pressure. You could take a fuel injection fitting and put it in the end of that line. Okay, so basically what ended up happening is I took a fuel injection fitting and put it in the line going to the fuel filter, and I plugged it off, and I could sit there and hold it with my finger. And I was like, man, that feels like there's no pressure at all. And I took my fingertip and I put it on it and just barely touched it like this, and was able to stop the pressure with just a little bit coming out of it. And I was like, that's what's going on. It's able to supply a little bit of volume to it, but the pump is dead. It's not pumping any volume up there at all. And the tank said it had like 80% fuel. Well, the tank's out of the car now. And that is not 80% fuel. It's all the way like down here. So the sending unit on that is no good either. And I bet you if we took this out of here, yeah, it's all burned up. The potentiometer is all burned up on that unit. It's no good. Yeah, it's garbage. Yep, no good. Anyway, now between those 2 units, I have one built right here. And this thing was probably ran low on fuel, ran low on fuel, ran low on fuel. And it sat there low on fuel for so long that potentiometer started to mess up and rust up. Now I'm going to show you what I do with this unit here. I put this together and I put the tension clamps on there. I like them better than the worm clamps for fuel pumps. I know some people don't like them, but I actually do like them. This is the assembly that all comes together. I put my fuel spacer in here, my sock on here, and I'm going to time this actually. I'm going to turn this filter until it's out of the way so it doesn't touch the float at all. And then we're going to work on tensioning these clamps with the right tool. So these are Nipix. These are German made, but they're actually Mac branded. And there's 2 different crimp sides to them. And I like to orient this in a position where I know I've got a good, strong seal and connection on these. So And what you're looking for is you're looking for this to try to touch as much as possible all the way around, no gaps. And it's like the perfect tightness to sit on here. This tube comes all the way down to here, and this nipple fitting goes all the way to here, so I kind of split them in between. And now this is done. This is ready to actually be installed back in the vehicle. New O-ring came with the kit, a new lock ring came with the kit, everything's fine. Make sure you got the right connector for this particular item. This is a four-pin connector, and this just goes right in. Now we're going to install it, and I'll show you what it looks like installed. And if you look here, there's orientation tabs. Here. And here. Sits where it needs to be. Now you can put your lock ring on there. So I need to pull it up a little bit and then feed the wire through the lock ring. Well, it's going to be the first start right now, and then I'm going to adjust it. I'm going to check the vacuum now. I'm gonna adjust, turn it off. Did you hear on the first start? It was a little rough, like the timing was off just a little bit. It's either too far advanced or it's too far retarded, so we gotta adjust just a little bit. Because that first hit, it goes, it tells me that the timing is now, yeah, a little bit off. Hold on, let me try. A little bit. No good. All right. A little bit more. Turn it off. Poquito. Poquito más. The other way? The same or the other way? Okay, just a little poquito más. Just a little bit. Put it in drive or put it in reverse and hold the brake. Está bien. Bueno. All right, now I need a vacuum gauge. So now I'm going to stick a vacuum gauge on it and I'm going to check it vacuum wise. The way I have it set right now is perfect. Hold the PCV hose, stuck the vacuum gauge in the end of the PCV hose. It's right at about 21-22 inches of vacuum. You should be right between 14 and 22. But I'm gonna let this warm up a little bit and come down. Let the RPMs come down a little bit and see if this stabilizes. Warming up a little bit and coming down. It's running real good right now. All right, we're warm right now, and we're still at 21 inches steady vacuum. 20, 21 inches. So the deciding factor on whether we adjust it anymore can also be, does it lunge whenever you put it forward and reverse? Put it in reverse and put it in drive. Let's see what happens. Good. Put it in drive. Let's check the vacuum. It's good. In drive, 17, 18, no problem. Okay. Let's do it. Oh yeah, baby. Started right up. There we go. Just do like little segments. Don't just straight record the whole thing. The van's sticking way out right there. I can't see everything that's going on, and Enrique's only paying attention. Sounds good, man. It sounds really good. It's quiet.
Mm-hmm. Richard.
He wants a picture of me in the Cadillac. Takes off quick, that's for sure. I'm not even trying to do anything here, but nice shift, nice brakes. Wow, that was nice and smooth. These people get way over. Look at the lights on the dash out there. It's flashing. You see the corner?
Oh yeah.
When you put your blinker on, it flashes. That one's broken.
Oh.
If you, it gives you an indicator that you're still flashing.
So have you ever driven this?
I never drove one of these particular models. And it's very quick. I mean, it's for what it is, for its size. This 350 TBI in this makes this car move. I think it's all in the gearing, because it does extremely well with how it takes off versus some. You know, you look at something this big and you're like, man, that thing's slow.
Right.
And it is slow, but the way they make this car is they make this car to be able to perform for the user very well with what it's got. And shit's quick. You know, it'll respond very quickly.
Oh, she power drunk.
It doesn't do bad at all, you know. And the guy wants us to look at the AC next.
Hopefully it's not R22.
It is, but these are, you know, well, it might be R. But I think around this time frame is when they started converting everything anyway. Maybe a little earlier.
Best job in the world, isn't it?
Oh, yeah.
Is that the VSC?
It's the radio, whoever installed it. performing well. So I think at this point, what the customer wanted was he wanted it started and running safely, and we've done that for him. So now at this point, we move on to the other concerns that he's concerned with, which would be his AC. I think it's one, and I forget what the other one is. And then when we're done with this, he's got a Cadillac with a 305 from like 90 or something like that. It's,
Yeah.
I don't know if it's a Brougham. I don't know what the other one is. So there's a vacuum noise is what that is. So I'll show you what happens. You shift this into neutral, it goes away. Shift
Yes.
it back into drive, it comes back. It's a vacuum noise.
And you were saying earlier there was a vacuum leak somewhere, right?
Not necessarily like a vacuum leak, but a. So now what we do? She runs beautiful. That's a Diagonal repair. Y'all be blessed.